Canada's largest city, Toronto, known for its towering buildings and bustling streets, also has an extraordinary waterfront. We cycled the Trans-Canada Trail route along the Lake Ontario shore from Burlington to Toronto, through Oakville and Mississauga, covering 74 kilometers of paths, residential streets, roads, and parks. Although we've cycled in Toronto previously, Harry and I had never been on the Waterfront Trail, so we rode as first-time users. To get there, we had to travel by car, reaching the start of the trail in the early afternoon on September 7th. Our kilometer zero for this trip was at Grindstone Creek. There is a small parking lot with free parking for about 12 cars, and there were several parking spots available. The starting point was about halfway across a bridge on Valley Inn Road. The wetlands are part of the Royal Botanical Gardens, and though some of the gardens have an entrance fee, there is no charge to visit or pass through on the Trans-Canada Trail. We spent about 20 minutes watching the marsh birds while the freight train rolled by in the distance. But we could have spent the whole day wandering about the trails, forests, marshes of this immense nature sanctuary. But we needed to get on our bikes and move on. Toronto's waterfront is amazing, but I would have to wait to see water. After leaving Grindstone Creek, the first 8 kilometers are on roads with few glimpses of water. There was construction on the route, and it was a tricky ride with cyclists on two-way bike lanes, meaning cyclists traveling in both directions on one side of the road, which was torn up, and all of us having to move into the traffic when construction vehicles, gravel piles, and other hazards were blocking the path. The route continues on North Shore Boulevard, where there are pavement markings for bike lanes on both sides of the road. There is a nice woodland section through LaSalle Park, and the Trans-Canada Trail map shows the trail going right on North Shore Boulevard, which is hilly, curvy, narrow, and busy with limited visibility. The bicycle markings indicate that cyclists and vehicles share the road. However, after completing the ride, I noticed that there looks to be an alternate route right through LaSalle Park. I can't verify firsthand if it's bicycle friendly, but this would be worth looking into if you plan to do this ride. At our 9 kilometer mark, and still in the city of Burlington, the trail becomes a true waterfront path for about 1 kilometer from Burlington Beach through Spencer Smith Park. The promenade is colorful, lively, clean, and well maintained. There is a great path for cycling, boarding, running, and so on along the waterfront. There are public washrooms, lookouts, grassy areas, and benches for relaxing. And for the kids, there is a nice playground and splash park to cool off. There is also a formal restaurant, as well as a burger place at the waterfront, and lots of other eating places within a short walk. We cycled through Oakville, mostly on road. A number of waterfront parks are visible and accessible from the road. We stopped at Oakville's Coronation Park for a rest and found picnic tables and washrooms and a nice place to enjoy the beach. We reached Rattray Marsh Conservation Area in Mississauga just as the sun was going down. Bicycles aren't allowed on the trails and boardwalks, So we stowed our bicycles and enjoyed an evening walk on the boardwalks. It is the last remaining lakefront marsh on Lake Ontario between Toronto and Burlington. It spans 94 acres of protected grounds that are home to a wide array of flora and fauna. The next day, most of our ride was at the water's edge. We discovered one cove after another, just far enough away from the hustle and bustle to enjoy the views of the Toronto skyline and the sounds of the water. We could sit on rock walls or on any of the many benches scattered about. For the most part, our ride was unexpectedly peaceful. We shared the path with walkers, joggers, and other cyclists. And though we were right in the city, it didn't feel like it. Sailboats drifted by. People were reading books on the beach, bird watching, having an ice cream cone, or springing lightly along a floating boardwalk. At times it had the vibe of a beach town. We came upon a pedestrian bridge that crosses over the Humber River. It was more stylish than I'm used to for a footbridge, but it made for some nice photos. In the final 10 or 15 minutes of our ride, we were in the center, unmistakably, of a lively, bustling city where there is literally always something to do. This is a place for shopping, festivals, concerts, and top-notch restaurants. Anyone who loves to dance, move, and party will be in their element day and night. Our trail map shows the Waterfront Trail ending on the east side of Humber Bay with a view of West Island. Here the Canada Trail connects with and continues east on the Martin Goodman Trail.